Okay, we're going to open the file by going to File, Open. File we want to look for is 00tw underscore clipart file.fla. It has a red flash icon, so we select that. It shows up down here with that name and say Open. Comes up and it's blank, so we're going to open our library by hitting Control L, and it brings up our library. For some reason, if it doesn't do that, you can go to Window and open library here. So you can see it's checked. It means it's open. If I close it, now the library's gone. Go to Window, Library, and it opens. Library has our characters, or clip art characters that we can work with in here. So we have the boy, a cat, dog, a couple poses of the dog jumping, squashing, a scuba boy, a dolphin, a fish, a shark, a barracuda, a Martian, skateboarder, garbage can, skate girl, snow girl, or snow boy, snow girl, and we have our moving hill. And it says moving hill. We have a little arrow here. We see that that animates up, so we can animate our snowboarders to match that. So now what I want to do, I have my layer 0 here. I'm going to do the skateboarder. So I'm going to find the skate boy, and I'm going to bring him onto the screen. And you see he comes in very large. So if I want to make him smaller and scale him, I'm going to go to the free transform tool over here. It's the square with the dots around it. Come up to the corner where I get my diagonal. That's the rotate sign. I want to get it so it's a diagonal like this. Hold the shift key and scale it, and it scales in proportion. I'm also going to take this little circle and put it down by the bottom of his skateboard. So when I turn him and I do rotate him, he rotates from the bottom of the board. Actually, I'll go back by this back foot. So when he rotates, he pivots pretty much off that back foot. So I got that size. I'm going to take that circle. So wherever I put that circle, it kind of changes the rotation point. I'm going to start him off screen here. Kind of put him about flat on the ground there. I'm going to call this Skate Boy, SK8, short for skate. Boy, BOI, there we go. Hit enter. Got that. Now we're going to create a new layer by coming. I clicked on this icon. Sometimes it will say insert layer. It will show you. You can always do insert layer up here. But this is the icon. Click that. Made a new layer. And I'm going to call that garbage can. I'm going to bring the garbage can in. So what I'm going to do, actually I'm going to start my boy on screen. I'm just going to take him, drag him onto the screen about here. Now in my garbage can, I'm going to come back to the garbage can layer so I can read that. I'm going to open this up a little bit so you see those lines. You can open it. Find my garbage can is here. My garbage can layer is selected there, so I'm going to bring that onto the stage. And the garbage can is really large also. But I'm going to scale it down by going to that diagonal, hold my shift key, and bring it down. So that looks about good size compared to the boy. For right now, I'm done with my library. I'm going to close that out. I'm going to take my garbage can, move it off screen, so it starts from off screen. The boy's going to stay pretty much in the center of the screen, and the garbage can is going to animate behind it. So now I'm going to come down to about frame 25, right mouse on the garbage can screen. I'm going to switch these orders. I want the garbage can to be on the bottom. So I select the whole layer, drag that underneath boy. Come back to frame 25 of the garbage can. It says frame 25, garbage can, right click, insert keyframe. So I created a new keyframe there. So the garbage can starts there, and I want to bring it across the screen so it goes all the way through to there. Again, we have a keyframe, it's there, and then it's there. So it's not moving. To create that motion, I'm going to right click in between those two keyframes and create motion tween. Now with the boy, he's not doing anything either, so I want to kind of check his height to the garbage can. So I want to bring him down just a little bit, tapping him down with my arrow keys. And the wheels look pretty good. I can even bring them down a little bit so they're a little bit lower than the garbage can there. So I got those there. And now as I come along my timeline, as my garbage can gets here, I'm going to put a keyframe in for the boy. Right click there, insert keyframe. come back in here and create motion tween. And even though I don't have keyframes there, I'm going to create a motion tween there, so as I go forward I don't have to keep adding it, create motion tween. So if I come here, I'm going to have the boy kind of go up a little bit as it's getting ready for the garbage can to come in. And then it gets here, he's going to kind of squash down, so I'll go to frame 11, insert keyframe, and I'm going to bring him down a little bit so he gets ready to jump up. We call that squash and stretch, so he squashes down. And then I'm going to bring him over here, insert keyframe, and I'm going to stretch him up, kind of rotate him so he's angling up, and start to lift him up as he's going up over the garbage can. And if I feel that's too close to the garbage can, I can select all these frames right here. I selected this frame, and then I'm going to hold my shift key. Alright, I'm going to come back to this one and hold my shift key, and I got all those frames. Now in this black area, I'm going to grab it and slide it down maybe 2 frames. So I have it going up in the air. So the action happened a little sooner. So as he starts going up in the air, I can create a keyframe here, insert keyframe. Can have him going up, kind of rotate him a little more, almost like he's going to do a flip, so I can even bring him up like he's gotten real high fast. Come over here, insert keyframe, and I'm going to rotate him around and bring him up in the air, so he's going to do a full flip. Come over to about here, and right now I'm just guessing where to put him, inserting keyframes. As you saw, if you highlight them, you can move them around. And he's coming back down to make a landing. And come to about here. Insert keyframe. I'm right clicking all the time to bring up that menu. And I'm going to come down for a landing. Insert keyframe. Bring him down. Kind of squash him down on the ground. Finish rotation here, bring him down, make him get a little squash as he lands, bring him back a little bit, and then here I'm going to insert keyframe, and I'm going to stretch him up a little bit so he kind of like hops up a little, and then come back down here, and I can cheat him back a little bit, and then I'm going to try back to my first frame where I'm going to get him back where we started from. So there's a big difference, so let me just try changing that. But I can still copy that frame. I right mouse, get copy frame. I'm going to come down here, paste that frame, so I know he's the same size, and I'm going to kind of position him just back here a little bit so I can see where those frames were. If I select this thing, it's called onion skin, and you kind of saw there, so I kind of drag it back so I kind of see where he was in the previous frames. Now this won't show up in the movie, but it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on. It gets a little distracting. You can just turn it off so you can see it. So now he's ready for the next thing to come by.